All right, let's just go ahead and get the typical podcast ramble out of the way. Go ahead and subscribe, share the podcast, rate us 5 stars, go do all that. Just get that done because I truly believe that the information that I'm going to share today could change somebody's life, and it could be you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Single Parents Podcast. This is the podcast for anybody whose life may have turned out a little less than traditional. We're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. So if you've been listening to the podcast for the last 3-4 months, then you might have picked up, maybe subtly, not so subtly, the fact that earlier this year, beginning of 2025, I stepped into a new career/business venture. And in an episode I did back in January, I kind of teased a little bit about what I was doing. I kind of was super vague. I was on a trip. I was at a conference. I was still early in training and figuring out this whole thing. And I really just, in that episode, I shared my heart for why I was stepping into something new. I'll put the link for that episode specifically in the description of this episode so you can go back and get my personal context if you want. But just to kind of sum it up, long story short, end of 2024, I did like a self-assessment as to where I was as a dad, where we were, me and my 2 girls were as a family when it comes just to life and to work and bills and all the things. And I was just like, okay, we're doing pretty good. Bills are getting paid. Girls are in gymnastics. My job's typical corporate 9 to 5, clock in, clock out, get paid every 2 weeks. We're fine. But then I was like, oh crap. My daughters are 8 and 9 years old, which means in a few years, they are going to be teenagers. And then they're going to be, growing into adulthood. So even though what we have right now is working for us in the moment with me and 2 elementary school kids, before I know it, I'm going to blink and then I'm going to need more. I'm going to need more space, need a bigger house. We're going to need more money for all these other things. And just for my girls to grow up with more experiences, to have the ability to grow up with different perspectives and be around different people outside of our little town was something that was super important to me. So I was like, this is what I'm going to do. Instead of waiting a few years until my girls are grown teenagers and being like, well, guess I got to figure it out. What am I supposed to do? I don't know. I'll just try this. Instead of waiting, I was like, let me start now preparing for that day by stepping into something now that I can build over the next couple of years that will allow me the opportunity to do all of those practical and social things I want to do with me and my girls once the time comes for that really to be applicable. So after a few more months of training and processing and having a lot of conversations with some very smart people, I truly do feel like I'm ready to let you all know, let the world know, let hopefully some future teammates of mine know what I'm doing and why I'm so excited about what I'm doing. All right, cool. Enough yaps. So what I decided to do this year was go ahead and get my license and all the things required to become a talent acquisition and development agent for a big financial services firm. Now, for the context of this episode and what I'm going to be talking about going forward, I'm just going to be talking specifically in this episode about some big picture, some vision stuff with that new job role I've stepped into, as far as like the details about the firm and all the little ins and outs of how it works. Not really going to get into that for a couple of reasons on this episode. So in the description, I'm going to be pointing you down there a couple of times throughout this episode. I have my email. Just reach out to me. We'll set up a time to talk. If the stuff that I'm going to be bringing up sounds interesting to you, or you do want to learn more, and maybe you do want to figure out if this could be a good fit for you going forward, use the email. We'll set up a meeting. We'll get into the real X's and O's and a individual one-on-one meeting. So cool. All right. But essentially I've become a recruiter, if you will, for a financial services firm that really values putting families first. Like their mission overall is no families left behind. Because a lot of times when it comes to finances and having financial strategists at your disposal, a lot of that type of industry is often reserved for the upper class, the wealthy. They hear like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to my financial agent about XYZ, or I'm going to talk to my financial planner about how to diversify my portfolio. And that's just a lot of those strategies and a lot of the things that their financial planners do is essentially to help, rich people stay richer or get richer. And that's fine. They got to do their thing. That's cool. But my firm's heart is like, hey, we'll help the people with money. Like, we're not going to turn anybody away. No family left behind, right? But there's people out there, middle, lower class individuals who can't afford to sit down with a financial planner, who can't pay the $200-$300 minimum per hour to create a strategy to make some generational change when it comes to money. They just can't do that. And so a lot of the things, to be honest, that the rich people, the upper class people know when it comes to money and the strategies that they're using when it comes to money, they have access to. But a lot of those things are things that anybody could be utilizing to get ahead when it comes to money and financial planning. And really, at the end of the day, that the only thing that really separates people sometimes is just education, is that they have access to people who can educate them on certain things that they can do to get richer. And people in middle and lower class families, they just don't have the education needed to make some of those proper decisions. And so they think, hey, the only thing I can do with my money is XYZ, because that's just what I saw from my parents, or that's just what I've heard on TV, or that's just maybe what I was taught a little bit in school. But they don't know about all these other opportunities and strategies and things that we as a firm can do to help people go forward. So I'll just throw it out there. If maybe that's you, maybe you're going to hear me talk about specifically what I'm doing with the firm, and you're like, hey, I'm not interested in that, but I hear you talking about no family left behind, and I have some concerns when it comes to stuff that's happening with my 401k right now, when it comes to putting proper protection for you and your family in place financially, when it comes to debt management and all those sort of things. Let me know. I work with a team of some amazing financial strategists who are super smart, have already helped a lot of people. One of my close business partners in particular, she's a mastermind when it comes to all of that stuff. So I'd love to put you in contact with her or one of them. But specifically for what I'm doing, my specific role and vision is to bring in the next generation of amazing talent to be equipped and trained to go out and help some of these families who desperately need it in these uncertain times. So how our firm is structured, it's actually really cool. It's essentially just like real estate, right? So you might know some real estate agents or some real estate brokerages or firms or whatever. But in case you don't, but what happens usually is somebody's like, hey, I want to go get my real estate license. I want to start selling homes or managing property or whatever. I want to become a real estate agent. So they'll get connected with an established firm or brokerage, and then they'll get their real estate license, and then they'll get a whole bunch of training, and then they'll start meeting with clients, and then maybe they'll start selling homes, getting commission, and then eventually, if they want, they could work their way up to open their own office, and they can develop a business that way as an independent licensed agent. Same exact model when it comes to our financial services firm. You're like, hey, I want to be a financial strategist. I want to help people when it comes to money because it's kind of a big deal right now, Anthony. Cool. We would sit down. We would help you go through the licensing process. And then you might be like, well, Anthony, I don't really have any big experience in finances. Like I didn't go to school for that. I didn't get my business degree or my accounting degree. Like, I don't know, like what happens then? Well, same thing with real estate. You come in, you get connected with some people who've been in the business for a while, who want to train and develop new agents. And we do the same. We train and develop you and give you all the tools and education you would need to succeed. So the system's there, the structure's there, the training's there, the clients, we know they're out there. We'll talk about that more here in a few minutes. But we just need to find the people who want to make some real change now, who want to make some real career change now, who want to financially start doing what I did a couple of months ago when I was like, oh crap, I need to do something now, because if I just keep doing what I'm doing, if I don't make a change, then me and my family, we're not getting anywhere. Like, maybe we won't tank, but we're just going to coast. We're just going to keep going the way that we are, always in survival mode, right? Like, always living paycheck to paycheck and always having to check the bank account before you go to the store to make sure you have enough for soup and groceries and toiletries and all those things. Never being able to really dream big about buying a house or going on trips or investing in your kids' education or getting the cool toy that you might want, the boat, or for me, I really want like one of those camper vans, hashtag van life camper vans that you can sleep in the back of. For a while, that's always just been like a dream, like, oh, that would be nice, but single dad, can't ever afford that, gotta keep pinching pennies. But then I was like, no, like, I can make a change right now to where those big dreams that I have, they don't have to seem so far-fetched. They don't have to seem so distant. They can become a reality as long as I commit to making a change right now. And that's what I did. And I truly believe there's some of you out there right now who also are ready to make that change, who are tired of living the same survival mode way day in and day out and week in and week out, who feel like, especially in our context of our show as single parents, who feel like they just have no hope. They have no options. I just got to keep working 2 to 3 jobs. I don't know what else to do. I can't afford to go back to school. I can't afford to like start my own business from the ground up and invest all this money in a storefront and do all these things. I just can't do that. So I guess I'm just stuck, right? I'm stuck doing my same thing day in and day out and just surviving. And it's just tiring and it's frustrating and it's hard. And I get that. And that's why I stepped into this role, because I want to find people who are ready to make the big change and give them the opportunities to make that change, to give them the keys to succeed, to give them the ability to dream some big dreams, because now we have a way in an industry that ain't going anywhere, that people desperately need to change your family's financial future forever. So my job is to go out and find some people who are ready to make some big changes. My job is to go out and find some bad people, right? I'm trying to find some baddies. Now, here on the Single Parents Podcast, if you're new, we're always talking about how we're all baddies here. We're all hot SPs. Yes, and amen to that. But specifically, I'm looking for bad people in the sense that I want people who are business-minded, ambitious, and driven. Business-minded, ambitious, and driven. If you have those 3 characteristics and you're coachable and you're ready to learn and you're ready to grow and you're hungry for more, then I don't care how much financial education you have in your past. I don't care how much training you've had in your past. I don't know how many degrees you've had in your past. I don't care. This is the time to take those ambitions, to take the drive, to take that want for more, and to step into something big. Now, and here's the thing. This is what I really would like you to think about if you are thinking about making a change. Sometimes making a change can be a slow process, and sometimes that's good. It's good to think about something, to gather information, to talk to other people you trust about something before officially switching up life, right? I think that's wise, but I think sometimes we can be a little too slow in making some big necessary changes, because sometimes change can be scary and it can be intimidating, especially stepping into a new career field like what I'm like insinuating here. So I 100% get that and understand that. But I would just maybe want you to think about this, and maybe think about the fact that perhaps change should start right now. right now, at least the beginning process of thinking about the change, emailing me, setting up a meeting with me. Let's get the change happening now. Let's put in some action steps that you can do right now. Here's why. So when it comes to the financial world, when it comes to financial services, and when it comes to the firm that I work with, number one, like I said, we're not going anywhere. This industry is not going anywhere because people are always going to have financial stuff to work through. There's always going to be people with money, basically, right? Like money has been around since a long time ago, and it's not going anywhere. How it functions and the type of money can change and evolve, but the finance industry ain't going anywhere. So there's some good job security for you. But if you kind of look at the climate of the culture right now, especially in the United States, especially when it comes to the topic of money and financial futures, the feeling that a lot of people are experiencing right now is that of a lot of fear, a lot of tension, a lot of anxiety, a lot of uncertainty. There's just a lot of things going on in the financial markets right now that have a lot of people nervous, wondering, what do I do? Who do I turn to? I don't know who to ask for help about this. Maybe the upper class, richer people, they can go to their financial planner and they could set up a meeting for $200-$300 an hour to go over different strategies. But for the average family who's just making it by, who's just doing their thing, they're just like, I don't know. I don't really know what to do. I don't really know what to turn to. I look on TV and I see the markets crashing every week and things are pretty scary. And then I check my 401k and things aren't looking so good and retirement is shaky. And I don't know if I can retire or what that's going to look like. Or I hear all these things about tariffs and price increases and recessions and inflation and can't even afford to go to the grocery store now. Like people are confused. People need help. People need this type of help. They're seeking this type of help. They're asking for this type of help. These kind of conversations are like mainstream conversations now. Like I was listening to like a sports podcast the other day where they just talk about football and basketball. They're not a financial podcast whatsoever, but even these two guys were talking about the state of the financial future of America and how a lot of families are struggling and how even they're not really sure what things are going to look like for them. These are real relevant conversations that people are thinking through and having right now. They need help right now. But did you know when it comes to, I'm not going to pretend I knew this the whole time. I just did a little bit of research before filming this part of the podcast. But did you know there's about 331 million people in the United States? Like, yes, that includes kids and lots of other stuff, but 331 million people in the US. A lot of those people are freaking out and panicking because of all the financial things I just mentioned. But did you know when it comes to licensed independent agents, and in my firm specifically, who are equipped to go out and help these families, you know how many we have? I just did a little bit of research again a few minutes ago. I think the numbers could be more now, but from what I just saw, we have about 80,000 licensed agents who are equipped to go live out the mission of no family left behind. Overall, I think when it comes to financial strategists, not just at my firm, but collectively across the United States to other firms and organizations and brokerages and things like that, there's less than 1 million financial strategists licensed, ready to go in the United States. So let's just say, to be generous, there's 900 licensed financial strategists in the United States. And we already mentioned that there's about 331 million people in the United States. That means there's only 0.27% of the entire country equipped and ready to go when it comes to helping families with their financial futures. 0.27%. So number one, if you're like big into business plans and thinking through oversaturation when it comes to markets and businesses out there, 0.27% of the people doing work for 331 million people, I would say we're not in a oversaturated market or industry at all. We have big opportunity to bring a lot more people in to go out and to do the work. Number two, this is where your financial future can really take a dramatic change for the better, because if we only have 0.27% of the people in our country able and licensed to go out and to help these families, then the market for clients and income and the ability to build your own business as an independent licensed financial strategist is huge. Because the market's there, the clients are there, especially again in this time when people are needing these type of services more than ever, but we don't have enough people trained to go out and to do the work that the people need help with. You show up, you're ready to go, you're ambitious, you want to help families in this way. I don't know, in my opinion, nothing's guaranteed, nothing's ever certain. I'm not promising anything. But it seems like you could make a pretty good living for yourself by stepping into an industry that desperately needs more help like this. And maybe you don't even want to do any of this full time, but you see the opportunity, but you're already a licensed real estate agent or CPA or property manager or mortgage broker, but you're also interested in adding an additional income stream to your portfolio. This might also be something you might want to talk to me about, because we have great incentives for referral partners at my firm. So just throwing that out there to professionals already in the industry, because you're already meeting with a lot of these people who are telling you about their financial states already, and you kind of see how some people are hurting and struggling and need some help, and you might be like, hey, you know what? I know exactly the group of people you need to go talk to. But you see how the opportunity is there. The opportunity for change is here. This is why I stepped into this industry, because I knew we weren't going anywhere. There's a big need for it. We need more people. I want to go out and find people, but I specifically wanted to find some people who are ready for some change, who maybe wanted to step into a career that could be very beneficial for them and their family for generations to come. I wanted to be there for people who wanted an option for hope, who wanted an option to turn to for the ability to dream and see a way out from surviving, from no more surviving. We're not surviving anymore. We're going to start thriving. That's the type of mentality we're going to start living with. That's why change needs to start now. So if that's you, I specifically wanted to just put this video out. I don't know how many people it's going to reach. I don't know how many people are even going to remember watching this video after it's all said and done. But even if just one person is like, I need to reach out to Anthony, I'm ready to make a change. I want to step into something big. I want to be a part of his team because he's building the best team ever, the best team of agents ever. We're going to go out and we're going to help a lot of families. It's going to be amazing. We're going to change people's lives for the better. I want to be a part of that. I see the vision. I want to learn more. I want to set up a meeting with him. If that's you, please, again, use the emails, use the links in the description of the video. DM me on socials. Do what you got to do. Let's talk and let's make some change. All right, well, if you made it this far in the episode, this is the part of the podcast we like to call Deeply Single. This is the part of the show where we just slow down a little bit, get a little real, get a little intimate, and just kind of share some stuff that may be on our minds. So thank you for listening to that kind of whole spiel about what I'm doing and who I'm looking for and why I'm so excited about building a team of people who are ready to make some change now. I really do just want to give opportunities to families, to have hope, to know that in these kind of uncertain, scary times that they have the ability to know that they're not trapped or stuck or going to be left behind. So, I think it's going to be good. But one big thing that I just also wanted to throw out to maybe some of you who heard everything I said and maybe thinking and contemplating about reaching out to me. like I mentioned, it can be scary and intimidating to step into something new, to take that leap of faith, to implement change within your life, especially if you have kids, young kids like me, because the temptation for me back in the end of 2024 to just say, no, we're fine. Let's just keep doing what we're doing. Let's not rock the boat, because I don't want to implement too much change, because what if it doesn't work out and it hurts my kids? Like, at least what I'm doing right now is we're content. Like, my kids are all right. So I don't want to rock the boat like that. I get that. You got a lot of factors and a lot of things about, especially when you have kids involved. But one aspect of life I've been really trying to put into practice is the idea of really like listening to my gut, right? Because I'm the type of person who will just live up here way too much, overthink things, overcomplicate things, sit on things without actually putting action into place. And sometimes when I do that, I miss out on some great opportunities or some great connections or relationships, because by the time I'm done thinking like, should I do this? Let's factor this and let's pros and cons list then the opportunity or the person has already walked off, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, there it goes. So I've just been practicing listening to my gut. Like when I feel like, no, you need to jump on something and you need just to do it. Trusting that feeling, that intuition that I have. Because something actually happened recently to where even within my own finances, I had like a gut feeling the night before about something, but I kind of like dismissed it and like, no, it's fine. Like, not, I'll deal with it later. And then the next day I found out that I actually lost some money on something, because I wouldn't have lost money on if I would have listened to my gut the night before and actually done a couple of little practical things. It would have been beneficial for me. So by me overthinking things or just missing the gut feeling that I have, it cost me. And so even though that was just like a little insignificant story in the grand picture of things, like I think it's just a good illustration of how sometimes we need to have a little bit of both, a little bit of like thinking through things and being rational and critical, but also being like, hey, maybe I just need to go for it. Maybe change just needs to start now. Maybe I just need to take the first step. Maybe I just need to send the email or make the phone call, because sometimes that's all it takes to get the ball rolling, to make some big change, to create a great future, to set some things up that could impact not just your family right now, but maybe your family for generations. Like, think about it. How cool would it be because you just went for it. You listened to your gut. You reached out to me. You stepped into something big. You were able to make a great career for yourself in the financial services industry. And that career allowed you to pass on money and wealth and good education and good habits to your kids, who instilled it in their kids. And then a couple generations from now, your great-great-grandkids' lives are changed forever. Maybe they don't even know your name or, remember you or heard your name or whatever. They may not know who you are, but their lives are changed forever because of a step that you made today, right now. Generational change can happen by taking one step. So I just want to throw that out there. Listen to your gut. What is your gut telling you? Do you need to make some change? If you're fine, if you're good, if you're like, hey, no, I'm just chilling. I'm all right with my current job. I'm all right if I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm cool with that. If I have a boss, I'm fine having a boss and having to ask permission to take days off and vacation time and PTO. And, I'm all right having to walk into his or her office and ask for an hour or two off to go to my kids' sports game. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with other people dictating my schedule. Like, if you're fine, I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to be a jerk when I say that, because maybe you really are like fine with that and you're cool with that. And I think that's great. And not everybody needs or should be in the financial services world or be a business owner or be an independent agent. Like, that's just how the world works, and that's fine. But for the people who aren't fine, for the people who are ready for change, for the people who feel it in their gut that they should do something, Let's get to work. Let's do it. Shoot me an email. Everything's in the description. All my socials, my new business socials are in the email. You can follow me, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all that sort of good stuff. It's going to be fun. Single parents, let's make some change. How awesome would it be to have a team, a big team of single parents who are kicking butt in the financial services industry, who are making good money in the financial services industry, but who are helping families, a lot of other families in the financial services industry. How awesome would it be, will it be, when we show the world how strong single parents are and really just get out there and just take over? That's what I want for my team. That's who I want on my team, people who are excited to do that. So let's get out and do it. All right, everybody. Well, this is going to get ready to wrap things up for this episode of the Single Parents Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Just in case you forgot, my name's Anthony. And until next time, you all out there, just stay beautiful. Bye.